made this a home for me for the past years. And
Satou Sabally just made the smartest move of her career by signing with the Indiana Fever after 5 seasons with the Dallas Wings. You might be wondering why she decided to leave a solid team like Dallas. The answer lies in one name: Caitlin Clark. Clark is the rising superstar who's rewriting the WNBA history books, and Sabally's move positions her to play a pivotal role alongside this generational talent. It's a strategic decision that could elevate her career to new heights and set the stage for an exciting new chapter in Indiana.
You want to go to new things. Who don't want to come play for Caitlin Clark in the Indiana?
Sabally recognized what the rest of us already know. Caitlin Clark has the power to change the trajectory of an entire franchise. With Clark leading the charge, Indiana is undoubtedly on the rise, and Sabally's decision to join the Fever aligns perfectly with this upward momentum.
And it looked like Satou Sabally possibly could be headed to Indiana. This very much has sealed the...
Sabally made the call to team up with Clark because honestly, why wouldn't you want to align yourself with someone destined to take the Fever to new heights? It's a bold and strategic move, and Sabally understands that the best way to soar is by joining forces with the player who's redefining the game.
Now, one player on the Dallas Wing team is up in the air, and that is Satou Sabally. Now, she is a free agent, and many people are speculating she could be headed all the way up to Indiana.
Satou Sabally just flipped the WNBA on its head by officially signing with the Indiana Fever. Let's get one thing straight. This is the kind of move that gets everyone talking. Sabally isn't just another player. She's one of the most versatile forwards in the league. Her 5 impressive seasons with the Dallas Wings were all about delivering results, averaging 15.7 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game. That's the stat line of a player you don't let walk away. Yet, here we are, and the Fever just pulled off the biggest heist of the year. Kevin Garnett, one of the most intense competitors and respected voices in basketball, has witnessed a lot during his legendary 21-year career. Known for his fiery demeanor and relentless drive, KG rarely gives out compliments lightly. However, when it comes to Nikola Jokic, even Kevin couldn't hold back his admiration. Highlighting the historic nature of Jokic's achievements, KG drew comparisons to some of the greatest big men to ever play the game. For a player of Garnett's stature to speak so highly of Jokic underscores just how extraordinary the Joker truly is.
Like what he's doing in our league is just, he's ripping the records apart. I think, Pete, they showed a stat where he's had a triple-double on every team in the league. Bro, right now, Joker's more dominant than Will Chamberlain right now, Lord. Damn. They got some taking him over Shaq. They got taking Joker over Will or Shaq.
Scottie Pippen is best remembered as Michael Jordan's trusted sidekick during the Chicago Bulls dynasty in the 80s and 90s. Renowned as one of the greatest perimeter defenders of all time, Pippen was a consummate winner who always prioritized team success and wasn't shy about talking trash after a big play. Since retiring, Pippen has earned a reputation as a sharp critic of today's NBA talent, rarely offering glowing praise. Reputation as one of the most clutch players in the league, earning the nickname Big Game James. Like many of the other greats who have praised Nikola Jokic, Worthy has shared the court with some of the league's best players, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and Bob McAdoo. Having witnessed greatness up close, Big Game James is uniquely qualified to assess just how special Jokic is, and he's not afraid to draw comparisons between the Joker and 2 of his legendary Lakers teammates.
To me, he's Magic and Kareem on the floor at the same time. He's a guard, he makes great decisions, hell of a pass, and then when he wants to be Kareem, he goes down and dominates. He's a special player that does a lot of things, and your antennas have to be up.
Much like James Worthy, Jerry West is one of the early NBA greats, having played for the Los Angeles Lakers and played a pivotal role in building them into perennial contenders. West, famously known as the Logo, understands what it takes to win at the highest level. When discussing Nikola Jokic, West highlights his incredible basketball IQ and instinct as what sets him apart. In an era dominated by insane athleticism, it's hard to disagree with West. Jokic doesn't rely on explosive athleticism or jaw-dropping vertical leaps. Instead, he reads the game at an elite level and consistently makes the right decision. This unique skill set not only makes him nearly impossible to guard, but also underscores his profound impact on both ends of the floor.
Jokic is a joke. You watch him play, you look at him, and everyone's talking about, well, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. If you watch him around the basket, he absolutely will shoot the ball, touch it, and catch it on the other side before these guys move. That tells you how good he really is. He's got an incredible instinct to play the game, but I watch him being interviewed and stuff. This guy's got the right stuff.
Chauncey Billups, an NBA champion with the 2004 Detroit Pistons, was one of the most clutch players of his era. Now serving as the head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers, Billups brings a wealth of experience from both his playing and coaching careers. Having competed against some of the best players in the league and now coaching against the new generation of stars, Billups has seen it all. He's faced different styles of play, designed defenses to stop the league's elite, and knows greatness when he sees it. And he sees it in Nikola Jokic, particularly in one standout skill, his court vision and passing. As a former point guard himself, Billups recognizes that Jokic isn't just a great passer for a big man, he's a great passer, period. This level of playmaking combined with Jokic's understanding of the game sets him apart as a truly special talent. However, her rise has not been without resistance. Critics have doubted her and tried to bring her down, but now two of the greatest basketball legends, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, have weighed in. What they had to say about Caitlin Clark is nothing short of game-changing. Michael Jordan, stepping into the conversation after all the buzz surrounding Caitlin, shared his thoughts, and his perspective changes everything. He stated that the WNBA owes Caitlin a great deal for what she has done for the game. But Jordan didn't stop there. He called for a complete overhaul in officiating, emphasizing that the referees have been blatantly unfair to Caitlin, and it's time for the league to step up and make things right. His words resonate powerfully, as the WNBA must not only acknowledge Caitlin's impact, but also ensure she receives the respect she deserves, both from her peers and from the officials on the court. It's not every day that the greatest of all time steps in to defend a player, and Jordan's comments make it clear Caitlin Clark is a game changer. Allen Iverson, one of the most electrifying stars of his era, redefined the NBA much like Caitlin Clark is transforming the WNBA today. Both players became household names during their college careers, entering the professional leagues under immense pressure and sky-high expectations. Despite not being the most physically dominant athletes, they commanded respect through sheer skill and determination. Iverson mesmerized fans with his iconic killer crossover, leaving defenders stunned and reshaping the way the NBA approached face-up ball handling, a style deeply rooted in street basketball. Similarly, Caitlin Clark has become a role model for countless young girls who strive to emulate her fearless play style and sharp basketball IQ. Iverson himself recognizes Clark's immense talent. NBA talent rarely offering glowing praise. However, when it comes to Nikola Jokic, Pippen's tone takes a notable shift. He acknowledges something about Jokic that he rarely expresses about current players, especially in an era filled with unprecedented talent. For a player who once shared the court with Michael Jordan to speak so highly of Jokic tells you just how impactful the Jokic has become.
That guy is the best player in basketball. He the best player. Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't nothing you can do.
Tracy McGrady was one of the most gifted and special scorers in NBA history, showcasing his brilliance over the course of his career with Toronto, Orlando, and Houston. Known for his ability to carry teams on his own during his prime, T-Mac built his legacy around what he could do with the ball in his hands, rather than playing off the ball. Despite this, McGrady doesn't hesitate to recognize the joy and basketball IQ Nikola Jokic brings to the game. In fact, T-Mac has said that if he could play with one player in today's game, it would be the Joker. For a scorer as dominant as McGrady to say this is incredibly high praise. It underscores just how easy Jokic makes the game for his teammates, with his elite passing creating opportunities that elevate everyone on the floor. As a player,
let me tell y'all something. This dude is so fucking good, man. Straight up. Like, I haven't seen anything like him. Where he passes. You got a 7'7" center bringing up the ball, initiating the offense. It is amazing. The passes that he makes from one side of the court to the other, on time and on target, the bounce passes in between defenses, he is amazing. He, like, if there's one guy I would want to play with, I would love to play with. He's a problem. He's like Jason Kidd as a point guard. Like, those guys don't have to score to affect the game.
James Worthy is celebrated for his decorated career as one of the league's greatest role players. After a stellar college career at the University of North Carolina, where he teamed up with Michael Jordan to win the 1982 national championship, Worthy was drafted first overall by the Los Angeles Lakers. During his time with the Showtime Lakers, he earned In a recent interview, he shared his thoughts on what sets her apart and why she's a true game changer for the sport, highlighting her unique skills and unshakable mindset.
Man, shoot the blood out of the ball. You know what I mean? I never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? And then just how aggressive she is, you know, and not just scoring the basketball, getting her teammates involved as well. I think she's so great for the game. You know what I mean? It was a pleasure watching her, and I just think down the road, she's going to only get better.
Allen Iverson knows what it takes to be a team's offensive engine, and he sees those same qualities in Caitlin Clark. During his peak years, Iverson carried the scoring load for his team, much like Clark is doing now. He praised her relentless aggression on the court, a trait that's essential for players tasked with being their team's go-to-scorer. But Iverson also highlighted what sets the all-time greats apart: elite playmaking. Even as the youngest player on her team, Clark has an innate ability to elevate those around her with her vision and unselfishness, proving that her game is about more than just scoring, it's about making everyone around her better. Like Iverson, Caitlin Clark is known as a floor raiser. She makes everyone around her better through her skill and basketball IQ. Iverson himself famously led a less than stellar supporting cast to the NBA Finals, relying on his ability to score at will. With time and growth, Iverson believes Caitlin Clark will continue to elevate her game and her team. He's confident her best days are ahead, and that it's only a matter of time before she learns how to take her squad to even greater heights. Now, the challenge lies with the Indiana Fever. Can they surround their young superstar with the right pieces to help her achieve the kind of success Iverson once did? Charles Barkley, an NBA legend and one of the most recognizable voices in sports media, has also taken notice of Caitlin Clark's rise. With over 2 decades of experience as an analyst and a celebrated career as an NBA All-Star, Barkley brings a unique perspective to his observations. He's no stranger to the spotlight, having navigated his own controversies during his playing days. His time in the media has helped him refine his approach and connect with fans in a new way. Barkley has expressed admiration for how Caitlin Clark handles herself both on and off the court. It's not just about being great on the court. Clark manages the media, the fans, and the expectations like a seasoned pro. That's a rare quality, especially for someone so young. It's a balancing act that Barkley knows well, and seeing Clark excel at such a young age clearly leaves an impression on the Hall of Famer.
And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. And now, when I watch her, 2 things I like. She's playing much faster.
Yeah.
Much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the season.
I think she was tired. I think she was banged up from the college season.
They didn't even give her the understanding, like, you girls been worded for the WNBA season. Y'all been working out on the no. She came straight out of college.
Caitlin Clark succeeds in every aspect of the game, both inside and out, due to her exceptional attitude toward her work. She faced immense pressure from fans and franchises and exceeded all expectations. Despite taking hits from her competitors, she proved herself tougher than them. Most impressively, she has continued to improve throughout the season. She has quickly learned to outplay her peers in the WNBA, which is no easy task given the significant differences between college basketball and the professional WNBA system. The physical demands of the WNBA take a toll on a player's body in ways that fans often can't see or even imagine. This is especially true for Caitlin Clark, given the added physicality that opposing teams direct at her. The only way to withstand this is through diligent physical preparation, which allows her to absorb the hits throughout the long WNBA season. This aspect of her game has been a pleasant surprise for fans, as she was initially seen as a supreme talent without extraordinary physical traits. Dominance in sports can take many forms. Shaquille O'Neal, often regarded as the most dominant basketball player of all time, has made it clear that there's no argument needed about his legacy. Interestingly, Shaquille O'Neal has also expressed admiration for Steph Curry, calling him his favorite player in today's NBA. Despite their stark differences in physicality and playing style, the two share a mutual respect for each other's greatness. Shaq extends that same admiration to Caitlin Clark. Speaking on Angel Reese's podcast, Unapologetically Angel, Shaq openly praised Caitlin's remarkable talent, even though she is Angel's fiercest competitor. He highlighted Caitlin's dominance on the court, despite her smaller frame, drawing parallels to Steph Curry's unique impact. According to Shaq, both Caitlin and Steph have revolutionized their respective leagues, bringing a fresh and unparalleled excitement to the game. He believes this is the key to driving a league's success.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark, besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like Steph Curry, I love, you know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. I've seen it a little bit in Mahmoud Abdul-Roh, but I've never seen a guy consistently come down. And if you look at, like if you saw Steph on the street, he ain't got the LeBron muscles. He's not 6'9", he's 6'10". He look like a perfect, normally office guy.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before. Never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis.
Shaq's discussion revealed several compelling insights. Foremost among them was his recognition of Caitlin Clark's ability to achieve feats no other WNBA player has accomplished. Even Angel Reese, Caitlin's fiercest competitor, has conceded this point. However, Angel's remarks seem to minimize Caitlin's talents, dismissing her abilities with the statement, "She can shoot threes from the logo yet. This is no small feat. It's a remarkable skill that electrifies fans and showcases an immense amount of dedication and practice. Mastering such a shot takes incredible precision and effort, and it deserves to be celebrated as a legitimate talent." Shaq clearly understands that Caitlin's extraordinary shooting ability is a major factor in attracting new fans to the WNBA. His comments could also be interpreted as a subtle challenge to Angel Reese, who has publicly insisted that Caitlin isn't the sole driver of the league's growing popularity. However, Angel's inability to match Caitlin's long-range shooting prowess might have fueled some underlying envy. Shaq's admiration underscores his belief that Caitlin Clark is a pivotal figure in elevating the WNBA's prominence and appeal. The rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has become a cornerstone of the WNBA's burgeoning popularity. This dynamic evokes the early years of the NBA in the 1970s, when the league struggled to attract enough viewers to justify live televised games, a stark contrast to its current status as a media giant. What changed? The arrival of two generational talents, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Their legendary showdown in the NCAA tournament finals shattered viewership records and reignited national interest in basketball. Similarly, the women's NCAA tournament recently broke viewership records, sparking a media frenzy around women's basketball. At the heart of this phenomenon is the intense rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Their simultaneous entry into the WNBA has ushered in a wave of new fans, drawing comparisons to the NBA's transformative growth in the 1980s. Many have dubbed Angel and Caitlin the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird of the WNBA. A comparison so widespread that even Magic Johnson himself has weighed in. Unsurprisingly, he agrees. Moreover, he sees Caitlin Clark as a player with the potential to become the greatest in the league's history.
Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the best WNBA player.
Magic Johnson has been an avid supporter of the WNBA for a while now. As the owner of the Los Angeles Sparks, he has always believed that the WNBA would eventually become a popular and thriving business, just like the NBA. Nowadays, his prediction is looking promising. He spoke about the rise in the WNBA's popularity, particularly with the spectacle and rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, drawing comparisons to his own rivalry with Larry Bird. One can now hope that the WNBA will undergo the same positive financial changes that the NBA experienced. It's starting to come together, and the benefits are already becoming apparent. The change in gameplay brought by Magic Johnson and Larry Bird was a huge factor in transforming the NBA. With Caitlin Clark being on an elevated tier of skill compared to most WNBA players, it's likely her talent will influence how other players train and how teams design their playstyles. When Magic Johnson entered the NBA, he revolutionized offenses with his incredible talent and basketball IQ, quickly establishing himself as the league's best point guard, a legacy that still stands today. Caitlin Clark could have a similar impact on the WNBA. Magic Johnson's thoughts on Caitlin Clark are impressive, but stay tuned for what Larry Bird had to say about her. When people say point guard, there's one name that stands above all others: Chris Paul. He is considered the ideal version of a traditional point guard, dissecting defenses with his scoring ability and advanced playmaking instincts.